20 Sekunden und dann legen wir los. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, this is Doc M, and today yeah, it's time for a bit of a different video because I really think this needs addressing, because there's so much confusion and wrong information and misconceptions and whatnot out there that I really feel obliged to talk about it. As a YouTube creator who's doing this for years now, 6 years and longer, who went through all the phases on YouTube, you know, I know what's up and I can tell you a lot of things from my own experience. So yeah, I was discussing that on Twitter already with many of my followers there, and I just thought, okay, there's so many questions, so much stuff, I need to talk about it in a video to address all of you. So what happened again? Oh my god, right? What happened again? Aren't you tired of this drama? I'm sorry, but there's more stuff we need to talk about, which will affect many people. Probably this is the change that will affect the most YouTube creators ever. Negatively, to point that out. So let's see what happens. YouTube creator blog, a new update, and they start off with, hey, 2017 marked a year of for many of you, with several issues affecting our community in all kinds of ways. So blah blah blah, they give a little bit. We know all the problems that happened over the time. I will address that later a bit better though. And then they also say, but still we are a success story here, you know. We have more than ever channels that make 6 figures and whatnot. So wow. So the bigger YouTubers supposedly they are fine, right? So yeah. So now they say in 2018 YouTube wants to put their major focus on protecting our creator ecosystem and ensuring your revenue is more stable. My revenue, your revenue as YouTube content creator, is also always YouTube's revenue. Always keep that in mind. They always take the lion's share, over 60% of any penny any YouTube content creator makes, goes straight to YouTube, because you know they give the infrastructure and whatnot. So that's just a given. So whenever they talk about protecting our creator ecosystem and whatnot, of course they are a company, they are a private company, they have shareholders, they need to make profit, which they failed to do for years. So yeah, you know, always take it from a corporate perspective. Not bashing YouTube there, I mean, you know, they gotta make profit to survive, right? So Susan, who's Susan? Susan is the CEO of YouTube. Very controversial, a lot of people criticize her hard. But, yeah, she says here, we're making changes to address the issues that affected our community in 2017. So we can prevent bad actors from harming, inspiring original creators around the world, making their living on YouTube. Okay, so what bad actors is she talking about? Or they talking about? Well, there are several. The latest, most prominent bad actor was obviously the Paul guy. You know, what is his name? I don't know, Logan Paul, or was it his brother? There's 2 of them freaks. And yeah, he took it to a new level, and then there was this scandal with a dead body hanging in a suicide forest, and he thought it was a great idea to capture it. You know, you heard that story, I'm pretty sure. Completely unhinged, completely lost his mind. That is, in YouTube sense, a bad actor. Why is he a bad actor? Well, of course, if you show dead bodies and are an obnoxious person in general, it's not only about this dead person video. He did others where he behaved like a terrible douchebag. You can't say it anywhere else. For example, he was in Japan for a longer time. He did not only do this forest thing, he also was very disrespectful in general. I'm pretty sure you heard about it. So that's a bad actor. You wanna weed them out. Oh man, I have to say a lot of things about that. So he's there. Then there's other bad actors. There is people not, you know, having this ginormous channel like the Paul guys with 15 million subscribers, or what, the smaller channels that have malicious intent, right? They go ahead and either steal content from others, or upload crazy stuff. You won't even believe what kind of crazy stuff is on YouTube. There is porn, there is, yeah, terrible things. And you know, porn in general is not a terrible thing, I would say, but you know, YouTube is not the place for that. You know, because if you are an advertiser and you want to run an ad, and it's in front of a porn video or some other super offensive, crazy stuff that is going on YouTube, put up by bad actors, so to speak. You probably don't want to see that if you have a company and you want to advertise. You want to advertise on content that kind of represents your brand and, you know, makes a positive impact for your brand. That's kind of the idea. So, of course, bad actors. A lot of channels that are out there that are doing bad stuff, putting up just trash content. Let's call that trash content. Okay, all this, you know, everybody defines it a bit different, but everything that is hurtful in a way, talking about this ecosystem here, the relationship between the creator, YouTube, the people that pay for the advertisement, and you, the consumers that consume the advertisement. This is the ecosystem that needs to be protected. So it can be harmed. And mind you though, 99.9% of course of everybody who starts YouTube is not a bad actor. Small channels, starting from zero with only good intentions, hoping to make it on YouTube and putting their, you know, working their tails off to do it. Right? That is how I see YouTube. Probably most of you would agree if you have a small channel. I mean, all you want is to make fun videos, right? Get a few viewers, and if you're lucky, maybe make a few bucks, and eventually maybe it's a career option. But most people approach it realistically and wouldn't, you know, don't expect to get rich quick. So yeah, that's that. So most people are good. So still, YouTube says now, a big part of the effort will be strengthening our requirements for monetization. So spammers, you know, talked about them just now, impersonators, that is the same category, people stealing content, and other bad actors, we talked about them too. So they want them out. They want to make sure the good guys are protected and everything works out. In general, pretty good idea. So let's stop here real quick. A brief history of YouTube. I'm gonna make it really short. I don't want to bore you, but I want to give you straight up facts. Back then, when I started YouTube, and what does back then mean? So let's say about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, yeah, almost 7 years ago, the process was as following. You watched YouTube videos, you said, oh, I want to upload too. You uploaded something, and eventually you found out, hey, sometimes there's advertisements in front of some videos. I wonder who earns the money from that. Maybe Google? You do a little bit of research and you find out, hey, wait a minute. There is actually something like, it's called a partner program with YouTube. And you could, if you work really, really, really hard, maybe eventually make a little bit of money in YouTube. Cool. Let's look into that a bit further. Then you find out to be partnered, to get partnered back then, is extremely hard. You would need tens of thousands of subscribers, millions of views, and I'm not exaggerating here. Ask other YouTubers that are in the game for a long time. They will confirm that to you. It's not a story. And then eventually you said, maybe my channel is good enough. Maybe I can apply. There was no straight numbers. Nobody knew what the requirements were. Nobody knew how many views or whatever. You could estimate, maybe, okay, a friend of mine, he got about the same size channel, he got approved lately, maybe I can get into the partner program too, maybe. So you could apply. Normally, and that happened to most people I know, your first application was denied. Just straight up denied. You won't get a reason why. They wouldn't tell you what you should improve to get it or whatnot. Then you had to wait 3 months before you could apply again. And then if you're lucky, maybe after your second, third, fourth try, who knows, you would get it. Keep in mind as well, back then, the YouTube partnership came with perks you new creators take very for granted today. the monetization. As I told you, you had to work. I had to work like a maniac. I worked my job on the side. I worked 20 hours a day. I'm not, well, not every day, 18, 16, massive amounts of time next to my job to fulfill my dream to make money on YouTube and eventually maybe turn pro. So it was a long way. And then if you got partnered, you could upload videos longer than 10 or 15 minutes. You know, you were limited. You couldn't upload any longer. You had no thumbnails. You had no playlists. You had no scheduled videos. All these nice little features that in today people got from the get-go. Keep in mind, these features will still stick around. It is confirmed by YouTube. They tweeted all the perks you have, like thumbnails and all this stuff, long videos, scheduling videos, and so on and so on. There's nothing to do with the partnership program. They confirmed that you will keep that. The thing they would take away from you if you don't pass a certain threshold is straight up the monetization. So that's the thing. So then, after that system was implemented, I fought and I got in, and literally maybe half a year later, I saw a weird trend. YouTube was starting to let more and more people become partnered. More and more easily, and eventually they said, screw it, everybody is a YouTube partner now. From the first second you upload, you will be eligible of monetization, pretty much. Well, you have to make an AdSense account, but you know, the threshold was super low. So now everybody was like, oh my god, you know, maybe uploads one video, the video for whatever reason, maybe it was a cool video, goes viral or so, you know, and then somebody earns a few $100 and goes like, holy crap, this is a paradise. This is my new career. So YouTube also helped with that, you know, creating this impression that, yeah, come to our website, upload, we're gonna give you money, it's gonna be great. And why did YouTube do that back then? But every content creator thought, holy crap, what are you doing? You're killing us. That is a very bad decision. First of all, you create a very wrong impression that it's easy to make money on YouTube and it's just like, hey, come upload and everything will happen. You don't have to put any effort in it at all. From the first second on, you will make money. Secondly, YouTube had this crazy plan, and I hope this person who made this decision back then got fired by now, because it's a completely stupid decision. They said, okay, let's open the floodgates, let's just try to sell as much advertisement as possible and, you know, get it out there. We don't care if the quality is good of the videos where the ads get played and whatnot. We don't care. We just want to sell and make more money, maybe finally turn a profit somehow, you know. Completely stupid and dumb decision by YouTube back then. Whoever is responsible for that, I mean, yeah. So everybody who was involved with YouTube, including me and many others, knew what this will cause. The people who had worked so hard to finally get into the partner program lost at least 60% of their income overnight. Why, you wonder? Well, very simple. YouTube only has so and so many ads they can play on videos. So now imagine if you go from 1,000 partners to 1,000,000. How many ads will you get for your channel now? Yeah, if you have to share with 1,000,000 people, not with 1,000. So for us who fought for it, it was already a kick in the stomach. For working that hard, and then they took it away. I was like, all right, whatever, keep on grinding. It's cool, everybody gets a chance, you know, it's all right. You learn to live with it. You are forced to maybe put more ads in your videos to somehow make a halfway decent, you know, mid-rolls and all this, and people complaining that, no, you're putting so much ads in. I'm sorry if I'm earning nothing and this is my job, I have to, there's no way around it then, you know. Thankfully, today there's other ways, there's Patreon and other ways to monetize your content, but, you know, so be it. Yeah, so now we are here in a system where YouTube opened the floodgates and, yeah, bad actors stream on to the platform, because for them it's like, oh, money, it's easy, you know. So, yeah, and YouTube created the chaos and the devastation that happened over the last year mainly by themselves. How can you be so gullible and go ahead and be like, yeah, we're gonna allow monetization for everybody, and it's only gonna be good people. Nobody's gonna take advantage of the system or do bad stuff. You know, I mean, come on. Yeah. Then we sit here, and then all of a sudden, all these problems start, right? YouTube picks their poster boys. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But you know, all these problems start, and then YouTube reacts after the ad apocalypse. You know, PewDiePie situation, well, Wall Street Journal, he was getting too edgy with his stuff. You can discuss about it. I'm not going into that in this video, but you know the situation. Not gonna talk about it, but you know what happened. So that caused YouTube to react, because all of a sudden advertisers were pulling ads and were saying, oh my god, our advertisements are playing on very bad videos. Oh, you don't say. Who didn't tell you that? Every freaking creator told you that this is gonna happen. Well, then they reacted, and then they did this thing. In April, they said, okay, if you wanna be a YouTube partner now, you need 10,000 lifetime views. Which is, I'm sorry to say that, but technically this is a ridiculously low number. Like technically, if you pay a little bit of attention, pick up a viral topic, you can technically, even as a complete newcomer, you could get 10,000 views with even one video. Of course, for the most people that would be a little bit of work. Let's say you make videos and you have 100 views per video, so you have to upload a few videos, maybe 100 videos, and then you will get that too. So that can be done in 2-3 months or so, even if you really don't get many views at all. So that was the first approach. Obviously this thing is absolute BS. That won't stop any bad players from pushing on to the platform, but make it harder for small guys, up and coming creators out there who maybe hoped, you know, within their first half year of working for YouTube, maybe they could squeeze out $50 and then invest that into a new headset. That is exactly what I did after I finally was able to monetize. The first paycheck I got from YouTube, which was a ridiculous amount, I don't know, in $100 or so, something really small for half a year or year of work. But I bought a better headset with that, and then I could invest, you know, get my video quality a little bit better. So that's how it worked. So this is a bit more tough now, but still doable. As I said back then, keep that in mind, when I started the first year, half year, 3/4 of a year, nobody earned a dime on YouTube. And you had to upload every day and push it and grind like everybody does in our days. So this, obviously, for somebody who wants to bypass that easy, you know, there's plenty of ways to cheat the system and get the views on YouTube. So this didn't do anything. It just was obnoxious and useless. So, boom, YouTube brings down the hammer. And this paragraph here is now the part that outraged a lot of people, rightfully, partially rightfully, some with the wrong arguments. But yeah, this thing hit like a hammer. And still, this threshold is way lower than it was when I started. Just want to point that out, so you have a reference, right? So what they do now is you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months, and you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So at least 1,000 subscribers. Mainly the key factor will probably be that. Maybe, you know, because eventually you will pass this subscriber threshold, and then you have that checked, and then it's only about the watch time. 4,000 hours. How much is that? For a Let's Play channel that puts up regular content and, let's say, has a few hundred views per video, easy, very easy to get this. Just imagine, like, you say you have a video that is half an hour long and 100 people watch that. Yeah, so it's already a lot. So that is doable still, but of course, you know, it's another threshold to be able to monetize now. So from today's perspective, of course, I get it. Like, you guys, the newcomers and so on, you were used to having all these perks and having the ability to monetize right from the get-go, you know, and you worked and finally got your channel where it is at some place where you make a little bit of money and maybe you can afford that headset soon, but nope, YouTube pulls out the rug right under your feet with this decision. I get it. I understand why you're mad. From today's perspective, of course, this is bad. From a perspective where I started, this is not bad. This is how it should have been, since they never should have changed the system they had in place, because that system was perfect. It already made sure we are in a good space, at least, well, perfect, that's maybe a bit too much, but a pretty good system, because, you know, you had to prove you want to put up content regularly, you had to prove you're going to put up good content regularly, and then eventually somebody looked at your stuff and said, yeah, he's doing a good job, we can trust him, put ads on him. That was the idea. So everything was safe. You know, we made sure the people who work hard get paid, we make sure the advertisers who pay money for the advertisement have a high chance their ad plays on a good video, and YouTube would make money too, because, you know, who cares if they take their ads and play it on 1,000,000 channels or on 1,000, but just more ads on the 1,000, or you know what I mean? The amount of ads that gets played in total doesn't matter for YouTube. They don't care. They have 1,000,000 ads and they don't give a flying crap whoever plays those ads. They just want to have them aired, you know, out, so people, they hear, bam, so many clicks we generated on the ads, boom, done deal. Moving on, right? So the system we had was good. So yeah, now they do this to paddle back a bit, to keep the bad actors out. Will this be effective? I think partially yes. At least it will make it, if you want to be a bad actor, you know, I'm just using their terminology, you have to have some persistence now and work on being a bad actor for a while before you can actually make money. I guess that will stop a bunch of people, maybe a majority of people who were just, you know, deceived and think it's so easy on YouTube, and then give up because you know, there's no payout. So maybe that will help. Will this help to keep bad actors like the Paul brothers away from YouTube? Technically, you know, numbers like that, somebody like Logan Paul would make in a minute. I'm not kidding you. Right now, the way how big his channel is, this is probably a minute, maybe not even, maybe a second or two, or a minute on it in real time, and people watch 4,000 hours of his content. This could easily be a realistic thing. So will it keep people like Logan Paul from the website? Of course not, because for them, they will bypass that like there's no tomorrow. How do we keep people like Logan Paul off the website? Because, you know, the Paul brothers here, in this case, I'm just using them as an example. They are not the devil, but, you know, they messed up pretty big. As long as YouTube picks such people as their new golden child, their golden goose, as their new face, they will come and they will have an easy time taking over the platform. And I'm gonna quickly tell you the truth, everything. Look, listen. YouTube has a system where they pick and choose certain content creators. Before, let's say, before it was always PewDiePie. PewDiePie was their favorite. He was, you know, everywhere. They put a show with him and he was in the preferred ad program and they did so many things for him and they treated him like a king. So he was their poster boy. Then PewDiePie messed up, you know, did his stupid mistakes and became too edgy, let's say that. And then YouTube was like, dang, we bet on the wrong horse. Let's quickly pick another poster boy. And you know what that means? If you become the poster boy of YouTube, you be rich. And you be very, very, very successful on YouTube. Because what they do is they pick channels by hand. So now PewDiePie was picked. Later it was Casey Neistat. I'm going to talk about it in a second. And then they manually put these channels in suggested, in trending, in everywhere. And by natural growth, the growth rates those channels displayed are impossible. It only works because YouTube picks them by hand and makes their channels explode. You know, if YouTube likes you, if you know somebody at YouTube, they put you in the system, that's it, you're set for life. All right, you understand that? So YouTube says, PewDiePie a bit edgy. New guy in the up and coming. Oh, Casey Neistat, our new poster boy. Casey Neistat explodes. The channel explodes. He does good content, you know, not disrespecting their content. That's not the point. I'm talking about YouTube here. But Casey Neistat explodes out of, bam, gigantic channel. How did that happen? How did that happen? Well, it was YouTube's new poster boy. So then all of a sudden Casey goes like, oh man, this daily vlogging, it really doesn't feel right to me. I want to do some creative stuff, and this feels just like it's just a mass production, terrible. I want to do something else. I want to be more creative again. YouTube goes like, damn, there goes our new poster boy. Oh, crap. Let's look for something new. Oh, look, a golden horse with a white knight on the horizon. The golden horse is called Logan Paul, and the white knight riding on him, Jake Paul. Our new poster boys. Let's make them. Boom. Get them into the trending, get them, they explode. And then we have this Paul situation. Other people look at them and see, holy crap. So they make videos where they are as obnoxious as you can be. It's almost like a, you know, cheap TV show where they try to sell freaking amazing fitness, you know, like a what are these shows called, QVC and so on, you know, where they sell TV telemarketing, you know, utter crap. The content of Logan Paul and Jake Paul is terrible. If you imagine there's young kids watching them, did you see his special for New Year's Eve where he literally makes a diss track on Santa, and the refrain is, buy my merch, buy my merch, buy my merch. If your parents give you something else, tell your parents to throw away or give you know that crap and get the Logan Paul. I'm not kidding you, he did that. And now what happens from that effect? Other up and coming people say, hey look, how Logan Paul is so successful, I'm gonna do that too. Clickbait content. Pow! Exploding all over YouTube. It's just a prank, bro. I'm gonna mail myself in a freaking mailbox to God knows where. All these crap videos and clickbait, spam all over the place. And the normal content creators like I and others who try to be reasonable with their clickbaiting and somehow get forced and pushed because nobody finds their videos again, because everything is taken over by clickbait insanity that is caused by YouTube because they push people like Paul. I'm mad, you can hear that, right? So that was the whole problem. So will this fix anything? Heck no. Whoever makes the decisions, who is your new poster boy, YouTube, make more smart decisions. Maybe don't do it at all, you know? Maybe just let the system work out itself, and if people like somebody's content that can be trending, don't mess with it. Don't manually mess with the system, you know? So yeah, now they say this, blah, blah, blah. And then they say we will implement that February 20th. So now there's another funny thing here. They say this will affect a significant amount of 99% of these channels are making less than $100 per year. In case you don't know, to be able to get a payout from Google, ABC, whatever you want to call, Alphabet, the company that sits on top, YouTube, you have to have at least $100 in your AdSense account. So for the most cases, you know, they say they have millions literally of channels that are making less than 100, so they will never get a payout. The money stays with Google. And, you know, what do they do with the money? Probably, if you just very conservatively invest the money, they made millions, crazy amount of money from that. So they knew people would catch on to that. So then they said, all right, you know, we're gonna make sure that we're gonna pay out this money, right? So the small guys will get what they earned so far here. They've already based, so even if it's a small amount, they pay that out. But yeah, all the revenue they made from investing that money over years, 10, 20 years by now, that's the system they have going on. Yeah. We're not gonna get into that, but you know what I mean. So at least the few bucks you earned, you will get. So yeah, that's where we at right now. Did this do anything? Right now, putting that mechanisms in place probably will help a little bit. They should have never went down that rabbit hole and enable monetization for everybody. This is turned out to be a complete disaster, right? We all have learned that. And yeah, now we got this. What can I say to you out there, young content creators, up and coming content creators? I can just tell you, man, approach it as a hobby. Approach it with a dream, with a vision, and work hard. And eventually you will be able to monetize your videos and eventually maybe even make a living. And I tell you, even that, it's not easy, even if you make it over a certain amount of subscribers. Look, for me, for example, if I take breaks from Minecraft, my income goes to crap, you know, because people subscribe to my channel mainly for Minecraft. I understand that. And if I decide I need a break from Minecraft and need to get my creative spark back, I will have to take massive financial losses. But that it's worth it, because I still like YouTube and I enjoy doing creative stuff on YouTube. It's not necessarily only about the money. Of course, I have to make sure I get by, but by now I have a few other ways to get a bit of money here and there so I can survive. I'm not getting rich, but hopefully I can survive. So that's just it, man. I'm really sorry for you new up-and-coming guys. I know you're pissed now, rightfully so, because YouTube literally deceived you there, leading you into believing, oh yeah, it's this easy ride. Now they, you know, hit the emergency brakes. And that's where we're at now. Let's see if that helps anything. To quickly say something, honestly, the whole Logan Paul situation, it was brought to YouTube upon themselves by featuring this person. Look at one of his videos and you will understand why this cannot be advertiser friendly content. This cannot be child friendly content. This is terrible. So the logical thing YouTube should have done, give the Paul guy a strike or whatever he deserves for, and all the other punishment he got, so be it, but don't punish anybody else. And this really feels a bit like that, right? You know, one idiot that was put in that position by YouTube themselves screwed it up for everybody else, and then we have this thing. Great. Don't let your head hang high. Hello. I have an idea. Back then, I had a show. It was called Dear Dog. Many of you who have followed me for a long time maybe know that. A big segment in this was, I was featuring smaller content creators that had 100 subs, that were really, 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 really small and nobody ever found them. And I featured them in the show and helped them to get going. There were prominent names amongst those channels I featured back then, who were 100 subscriber channels. Everybody remember Sky Does Minecraft? Pretty much everybody who is on Minecraft, pretty much everybody who is successful on Hermitcraft in our days, you know, we worked together back then. You know, giving a shout out to Zizuma Void back then, and he came visit me in my world tour, in my Minecraft world tour, and we built this thing together. There's this long-lasting friendships. We supported each other, and that's the way to go. So I'm looking into making a new format along the lines of Dear Dog, where I will pick you, fans, viewers, and give you a spotlight and feature you. I did it before. I never got much thanks for it. And sometimes I thought, my God, I helped a lot of people and they never look back. Now when they became more successful than they don't even remember that I helped them so much back then. But whatever, the video is getting really long. It's over half an hour. It's almost like a podcast. Yeah, keep your eyes out. I will try to figure something out. I'm pretty sure other bigger YouTubers will also try to help out a bit. And together we can make it. Looking forward to reading through the comment section now and hear what you guys have to say. I hope I covered everything. There's a lot of things on my mind. I didn't make a list. I just came back from Berlin from a project there and right into the video. So that's that. I'm gonna straight upload that without cutting, without editing, without anything, so you can listen to it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment sections. Share this video if you think it makes sense. Bye guys.